And who else is absent?
Brady and Esther.
Okay, where's Esther? There's our name. Okay. That's not creepy at all. Who else sits here? Wasn't Brady?
Brady and Esther.
I thought Brady was here. No, that was okay. Tennyson, I get you guys mixed up. And then anyone else? Okay, that's it. Cool. What? There's a lot of sickness going around. I think, yeah, there's a lot of. We don't know that. I'm gonna have to edit that out because we don't want to spread false info. Yeah, you know for sure. Okay, I don't know either. Check the aim board. Let's start as a team. Who can read the aim? Hands up on 2. 1, 2. Next time I'm gonna do like hands up on 3 and see who's got it. Oh shoot, I need a hand.
Oh.
Thanks. Kira Murphy, what are we doing today?
Combine like terms and expressions.
Cool. If you guys are kind of like, whoa, Mr. McAfee, this is like way different than multiplying and dividing decimals. It's way different than adding and subtracting. The first unit is kind of like a base. I'm like trying to build out a foundation for us so that as we go into pre-algebra world, we can have a super strong understanding. So all these little things are kind of going to come up here and there. If you didn't totally get division of decimals, don't worry. We will loop back and kind of practice it and perfect that skill. So an expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and operations. Somebody have a question? I thought I saw a hand. A number is that. A variable is something like that or that. An operation is that or that or that or that. Okay, so 3 things going on to make some expression. There was a difference between an equation, Claire. What was that? I think you said the equation had something on it. Were you the one that raised your hand? Or was that Mackenzie? Did it have like an equation had an equal sign? Yeah, so expressions aren't, sorry, I just interrupted you. Okay. An expression isn't going to have one of those, okay? So a term is going to be parts of an expression separated by a plus or minus sign. We're doing a lot of labeling and kind of vocab, so we can use this as the foundation, so just hang with me. Parts of an expression. Separated. Can you read that row 4? Okay. By a plus or minus. Label one term here. Well, 2x would be called a term. It's also something else, but it's called a term because it's separated by a plus sign. What's another term here? Well, 3y is a term. What's another one? Peyton? X to the second power, or 4x squared. That's a term. What's another term? Peyton? Done. These are all terms. That's a term, that's a term, that's a term, that's a term. So if it's separated, you know it is a term. If there's a plus or a minus on either side, it's a term. A constant is a term, but it's a specific type of term. It's a term that only has numbers. If you spot the only term in this expression, raise your hand. Tennyson, what is it? Yeah, label it term. It only has a number, no variable. This is a, sorry, not a term. Label it constant. Did I say term that whole time? Sorry, I meant constant. 10 is a constant and it is a term. It is a specific type of term. It's called a constant. The number, or the coefficient, is a number being multiplied by variable. There are 3 different coefficients. Who can tell me one of There are 3 coefficients. Avery.
4x
Close. The coefficient is only the 4. The whole entire thing, so coefficient is only a 4. The whole thing underneath it, put like a loop, that is called a variable. Variable is 4x squared, coefficient is just the 4. Hang with me, one more. A like term is a term that has the exact same variable. Raised to the same power. As you're finishing, think about, is there any like terms in this expression? I'm going to let you wrestle with that with your partner. Get ready to turn and talk for about 30 seconds. Are there any like terms in this expression up here? Argue with your neighbor respectfully. What do you think? Go. Any like terms, turn and talk. What? Why? Well, because if I said like argue with your neighbor and punch him in the face, I get fired. And now I have to edit that out. For what? A team? A team?
Last year, there was the math problem was like, it's respectively 14.
That's a different word. Prospectively or respectively? Respectively is different than respectfully. No, it's not. It's different. I'm not going to say it because it's not our aim. 3, 2, 1. Okay, are there any like terms? Thumb up, yes. Thumb down, no. Vote. Go. If you're not sure, I guess I'll take a thumb in the middle. Are there like terms in this one? Hands down. Aiden, what do you think? Yeah, and my biggest thing is like, is 2x and 4x squared the same? No, it looks really close, but the only difference is that. This is a power. That makes it completely different. It has to be just an x. There are none in here. Next page. Question? Yeah? Can you wait for like 5 minutes? Yeah. Yes. You can't combine 4x squared with 2x. Just like apples and pineapples, you cannot squish together like a pineapple with a pineapple. It'd be gross and it'd like make a mess. A 4x squared is completely different than a 2x. It has to have 4x and 2x, that could combine. 4x squared and 2x squared, that could combine. But you can't have an x and an x squared. What you can do with an expression. Simplify. If it says to simplify, it just means to combine all the like terms and reduce any fractions. So you're going to see a lot of instructions on homework and on tests that say simplify. It's not going to be a really cool looking answer. You're going to want to do more with it, but it's just going to have all those simplified together. It could be 3 different numbers, and that's your stopping point. Here's our process for combining like terms. We are going to make sure that they have the same exact variable. Like we couldn't combine that 4x with a 2x squared. It can't be x and xy, those are completely different. They must have variables raised to the same exact power. Numbers by themselves or constants, sorry that's a little squishy, are always added together. If you want to write that over here, you can move it over and draw an arrow. And when identifying like terms, you always circle the term with the sign. So if it's a negative 4x, you are going to combine that 4 and the negative together. That's a bad guy. Integers are key components here. You must always follow integer operation rules. So you're always thinking good guys versus bad guys when you're combining. You're always thinking same good, different bad when you're multiplying. Let's do one example. I have a negative 2x. I have a negative 4x. And that is it. I'm going to start here, and I'm circling the like terms. Those are my first two. And negative 2x and a negative 4x, well, that makes a negative 6x. Okay, those are bad guys. They band. That's combining a like term. And we'll move them over here. You'll notice I circled the negative. I combine them with a little arrow. What's another like term that you see here, Jillian? That's it. And what do you see in front of the 9y? It's a negative. Yeah, it looks like a minus sign. Same thing, Mackenzie. Do you see that example? I think I get what you're asking. That's a great question. Do you see like that? Is that kind of what you're asking? That's the same thing. So when there's a minus sign, it means negative. This is a good guy of 4, bad guy negative 2. It's an awesome question because it's a huge blunder for 7th and 8th graders. Plus minus can just be simplified to that. Same exact thing. Jada. Yeah. I'm doing some work over here, you guys, but if you can do this mentally, like negative 2 minus 4, I said fluency, we're working towards mental math. I'm okay with not seeing this side work on homework, just this type of thing. So what would 3y minus 9y be? I'll take a hint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alexis. Close. We're gonna battle. 3 is positive, 9 is negative. So let's change that. Who wins this one? Did you say negative 12, Alexis? Okay, so you're right about the negatives. We're gonna fight though. How many are taken away? The bad guys have 3 taken away, so what's gonna be our total bad guy left? You got it. And that's a 6y, right? Yeah, okay. One last little term. Does this guy combine with anyone? I'm gonna make him a triangle. If he doesn't, you're gonna write it like that. He's positive. This is your messy answer. Students always look at this and like want to do more. They're like, wait, I need to like combine the 6 and the 6 and make negative 12. Don't do that. You cannot combine those. You're stopping here. That's as simple as it gets. What are we doing? Okay. Get ready to cold call. 3x squared. I'm searching for any other x squareds that I can combine. What can I combine this guy with? Frankie. Yeah, there's x to the second or x squared, and we're gonna circle it. What are these guys doing? Are they fighting or are they banding? Frankie. They are fighting, and who wins? They tie. This is a 0. They go away. You don't have to include anything. You could put a 0 here, but mathematicians will just make it disappear. They're magicians. Secretly. What do I do next? Jersey. Are those both good guys? Okay. Yeah, I messed up and okay. Is it a good guy? Yeah. If you're boxing stuff and it's messing things up more, you can do something else like underline. That works too. 6y, 7y, Tennyson, what's my total answer? You got it. That is as simple as it gets. Number 2, Mackenzie, what do I combine with a 3x? What's my answer? Good guys versus bad guys. Let's do that again. Who is going to win? Who's bigger? Got it. And how many do they win by? Okay. When you write a 1x, mathematicians, like I said, are kind of lazy. So whenever they have a 1, they're just going to make it an x. That's the same thing. I won't mark you wrong if you put a 1x or an x. Just know the simplest version and the best way is just write an x. Next Oshu, what do I do? Yeah. 2y cannot combine with anything. Which one? The 5y. And do they fight or band? Okay. How much is total? Is that positive or negative? Okay. There is your answer. X plus 7y or 1x plus 7y is it. I want you to try 3 and 4 with a partner. You don't have an answer. We'll switch to independent work in probably like 4 minutes. If you do finish 3 and 4 and you've checked and you're confident, head down to practice and keep rolling with 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay. Sorry guys, number 3, there's a square above it. It's kind of fuzzy, but let me go up. It's easier to see on my screen. So for number 3, this is a 4a squared, 3b squared, and 10a squared, like that.